Hey guys, it's Steve with Spirit Mechanics, and you caught me being blind in my own living room. We're going to get into the forecast proper, but one quick announcement. Um, we are going to be at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market this weekend. That is going to be Saturday, May 17th, and Sunday, May 18th. We're looking forward to it as we always are. Come by the booth, get a handshake, a high five, a hug. They are all free. And we're looking forward to seeing you. We do energy work. We do different types of readings, aura readings, soul DNAs, different things like that. We also flip cards. We're a little bit of a one-stop shop. So if you would like to come out and see us, we're going to be there. You can get details at Central Kentucky Mystical Market here on Facebook. And you can also go to centralkymysticalmarket.com. Get the details there as well on who's going to be there, what the dates are, any special events that are being hosted by it, by the owners. And of course, understand that this is a space that we really appreciate. You know, the mechanics literally got their start. You know, we cut our teeth in this community at this particular event when Miss Patty Starr still owned it, and it's changed hands a few times, and we've stuck with it, and we're always going to. We met a lot of you there and have worked with a lot of you there and wouldn't change it for the world. So come out and see what it's about. Check out the family, see what they've got. There's going to be a bunch of people there that we appreciate and we would send you to if we couldn't handle your situation. So it's always good to get an idea. Looking at the forecast. So not much is really going to change. So why are we actually doing this? Well, there's two reasons. One, I promised you a forecast every week, but two, just because things aren't going to change much doesn't mean that they're not going to change at all. So for those who watched last week's forecast, you understand that we are currently only in Pluto retrograde. For those that need it, Pluto is a planet that helps with transformation, transmutation, transition. It also helps with rebirth and regeneration. Essentially, what it does is it shaves off what isn't necessary, what doesn't serve, the parts of you that you need to let go of, the bad habits that you have that you need to shift, you know, things like that. And because of that, it's a planet of extreme inner conflict. You know, Mars is one that's out here and in your face, and everybody is kind of like grr and shit. Whereas Pluto makes some people a very sad person. When it comes down to it, people have a tendency to get very emotional and very in the doldrums, very, down about it. Is it necessary to be that way? Absolutely not. But scrutinizing your life, it can bring up some stuff that's not so great. Now, does that mean that everybody's going to have a fucking issue right now? Absolutely not. If you are taking it in stride and actually paying attention to the signs that you're being given, you're not really going to struggle bus with Pluto. It's actually going to really help you sort through things. And it's going to help make sense of a lot of things that don't. Pluto shows you where you're getting in your own way. More than it does outside influences. Pluto helps you become what it is that you saw yourself as. That's why it's important. Now, when it's rocking by itself, it's very intense. The reason being is obvious. You are on display. You're in the spotlight. You're under the microscope. Whatever analogy or turn of phrase you would like to use, that's where you are. You can hide from other people. You can't hide from you. And Pluto makes sure that you understand that. There's a different person looking at you in the mirror. There's a different tone in your voice. There are different patterns, different ways of thinking, different situations that you wouldn't find yourself in. All of that happens during Pluto. And they're literally signs of who the fuck do you want to be? More importantly, who the fuck are you are now? As compared to where you want to be. Last week we talked about it. We're in true order. Of course, true order, any of the true states as far as flow, they don't stick around long. If true order were to stick around too long, things would stagnate. They would be way too structured. And because of that, things would begin to really get into a rut and really become a problem. We're starting to slide into neutral order. So what is neutral order as far as a flow? Neutral order is literally let it go. Now, what I mean by let it go is not drop your baggage. What I mean is let it do as it does. Don't try to force a square peg into a round hole right now. You're gonna wind up hurt. Literally, if it is something that is simple, let it be fucking simple. If it's something that doesn't involve you, let it not involve you. If it is something that needs to be done, by God, at least attempt. Live your life right now. Things are in your favor. The chances of, there being some kind of catastrophic, oh my God, right now, yeah, there's chances, but they're much lower than what they would typically be, at least as far as anything energetic. What does this mean for the main forecast? So we're looking at the good, or the metaphysical benefits. The good thing about neutral order is that the things that you set in place during the true order state, in other words, this is what is right, are literally going to just naturally slide into place, and things are going to continue as you suggested. Hopefully, you chose what was best for you. The big reason why is the true order state takes what it is that you say is best for you, scrutinizes it, and gives you exactly what is best for you. What you need as opposed to what you want. Neutral order makes you write it out. Well, this is what you need, so this is how we're going to play it. Energetically and spiritually, if you set goals for yourself as far as a practitioner, if you set goals as far as research, if you set goals as far as, the things that you do for public service, i.e. Reiki practitioner, different types of reading, things like that. If you set in motion the correct things for you, you're doing it for the right reason. You're checking your ego at the door. You're maintaining your integrity. If you're doing those things, you're going to see a lot of benefit. You're going to see a boon to it. It may not be what you want, but it is definitely what you need. You're going to be catching that. Ride the wave. Okay? See where it goes. The worst thing that can happen right now is nothing. Trust the process. You're going to wind up having it work out. You're going to wind up, with that one client that needs you. You're going to wind up doing the thing proper, as long as you allow yourself to do it. Looking at the bad, currently, there's not much in the way of bad. The only situation that you're going to see as far as metaphysical issues right now is if you fight the process. The harder you resist what it is that you set in motion right now, the more Pluto is going to tell you to fuck yourself. And it's not kind about it. It's literally going to be a situation where you wind up going, why is it happening like this? This isn't the way that I specified. This isn't the spell I sent. This isn't. And Pluto's going to go, well, that's what you said, but it's not what you needed. Here's exactly what you need and the reason why. And you can kick and scream and throw your tantrum. That's cool, but it's not going to change just because you said so. When it comes to direct energetic practice, right now, if what you say doesn't match what you think and what you feel, it's going to tank. It's not going to work the way that you wanted or intended, period. The reason why is, guess what? If you're giving lip service out here, but you're thinking of something else and you're feeling a completely different thing, then your mind, body, and spirit aren't in alignment, and Pluto's not going to play well with that. Especially if you are a physical energy practitioner or you're somebody that helps others through spell work, prayer, whatever it is that you specifically do. If you are trying to do something outside of yourself and the only thing you can think about is yourself, you're going to be dead in the water, left hanging. Keep your humility, check your integrity. Make sure that both are in play before you wind up committing to a spell or a working. Now, the mundane effects. So looking at the ugly, right? This is what a lot of people watch these for, is to see how they and possibly those around them are going to respond to these energetic shifts. Neutral order allows people who actually go with it. You know, they don't resist it, they don't fight it, they don't, cause an issue with it. It allows them to just do them. It allows them to life properly. They find more contentment as opposed to resentment and, even worse, complacency. They wind up being happy with where they are. It may not be where they saw themselves, but they know this is where they need to be. Conversely, those that do resist it and those that do fight the process are honestly going to struggle bus. And you're going to catch phrases of, well, I know I need to do this, but. Well, I know I should, but maybe. Well, this is the opportunity. It's just going to be too hard. Well, what if, maybe, but. You're going to catch a lot of that. And because of that, those people are going to stagnate and stay exactly where it is they are. More apt, they're going to stay the same here as far as a mental state, which is going to affect here their emotional state, which is going to affect every relationship they have out here. Sometimes you have to take the risk to understand that there wasn't a risk at all. Sometimes you have to understand that you find the most control in life when you realize you have none. Right now is a great time to actually process those particular sayings, those particular avenues of thought. A lot of people are in their own way. Now is not the time for, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sometimes shit doesn't need to be broken in order to be fixed. Sometimes batteries run out. Sometimes tools need to be sharpened. Sometimes. There's going to be a lot of contemplation about where people are and what it is they see for their futures and what it is they currently have as obstacles. And for those who are doing it, you're going to be reaching out. Not just, saying that you're going to reach out to us, but to your friends and family. As a side note, if you need us, we're going to be right here. But a lot of people are going to be reaching out to each other. They're wanting to talk about it. They're wanting to get this off their chest. They're wanting to work on this thing. Or move towards what it is that they've been wanting to do. They're just going to want the reassurance that someone is in their corner. By God, be that person for them. Unless it's something that's completely dangerous or, is obviously a bad decision, let them try. And you do the same. Life is about living it, y'all. There is no grand scheme. There's no predestined bullshit. There's no any of that. Life is for living. It's about the ride. It's about the journey. Everybody's eventually going to wind up in the same space and time. And everybody is eventually going to make the choice as to whether or not they come back or not. Now's not focusing on, what happens after death and what happens, as far as quote unquote soul contracts. I mean, if you have to sign a contract to come back when it's your decision and your soul is part of divine, which doesn't have a limit, then you might want to investigate that a hair. Now's not the time to focus on that stuff. Now's the time to focus on the here and now. There's going to be plenty of tomorrows left. Today is what's important. Now, as far as elements, we're still rocking with water and water only. Water helps carve new paths. It also brings stillness to situations, brings life to plants and animals, and allows for, honestly, the world to go round. If it wasn't for water, we wouldn't have air to breathe, and, we wouldn't be able to have a sustainable atmosphere. Water is an amazing element. To an alchemist, water is the flow of life itself. Don't dam it up, let it flow. Now's the time to actually solidify, to carve in those paths that we've chosen for each other and for ourselves. You don't have to do it alone, but you do have to choose for yourself. Hopefully we will see you guys starting tomorrow and Sunday here in Lexington at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. If we don't, we'll catch you next time. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember that those that have the power to change themselves have the power to change the world around themselves. Love y'all.
Like this video, make sure you check out the Spirit Mechanics YouTube channel, where we have dozens of videos going into various spiritual topics, some music, and we take you on our adventures while we ghost hunt. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with every new episode.